Hey everyone, I am alive, trying to fix this. And it's been one of those weeks, it's been one of those days. Um, but I'm going on. I think, like I always say, if I'm going through it, you're going through it. So I'll just do this real quick. And I wanted to come on and talk about the class that I would like to do. If anyone's interested, it would be a probably Monday nights would work good for me, and it would just be a meetup. So Monday nights for an hour and talk about spiritual topics that can help you out with things that I know, spiritual development, past life things, um, grounding, pull tarot cards. And I feel like it's time. And so if anybody would like to do that, I'd be happy to. I mean, I had a class and where we did that, and it was really great. It was fun, it was helpful, it was healing, and um, I think we all need that. These are rough times, and no matter what time, even if it's the best of times, you still need to have some spiritual development. So maybe I could, I don't know, I would just love to be able to do that. So anyway, look into that if you're interested. I did say um, a certain price, but donations are accepted. But would need enough people to sign up, because it probably wouldn't be that helpful to just have one person. Um, so I would say two or more would be good for a group. That would be a group. So that was the other thing. I'll talk real quick about with 45. I'm going to try not to say his name. 45. This has been a crazy week. We've had the elections on Tuesday, which overwhelmingly showed more than those poll numbers, which I don't trust the poll numbers, because of how they conduct them through phones, and nobody uses their home, their landline anymore. And who does? But the older generation. And who's the older generation? They're typically very conservative. So if you're going to ask um, how people are going to vote next year, I would say that look at Tuesday, and Tuesday said a lot. um, People don't want their body rights taken, women especially, and fathers, brothers, husbands, friends. They don't want the women in their life to have their rights taken away for their body autonomy. It's very important. I've said it many times that abortion is not about, you know, the one choice. It's about the choice for, yes, the woman's body, if she wants to bring a child into the world, her other children, her community, herself, her own life, her own path. We have free will. The divine God, creator, whoever gave us free will. Free will is the most important thing that we have here on earth, or otherwise, what are we here for? Because free will lets us learn and have lessons, um, soul growth. And if you take away a woman's choice, you're taking away a soul lesson. A child that child's spirit may be teaching this mother figure about choosing her life and her life path, and you're taking away that choice. And the other thing is that I know you guys listening aren't, you guys know what I'm talking about. You're typically on my side. But if you take away, oh hey warrior girl, hey, um, but yeah, it's pregnancy is not always all roses and bubblegum. It can be a death sentence because there's complications in childbirth and pregnancy, and even it can go well and then her placenta could not come out and she could get toxic and die. The amniotic fluid can mix with her bloodstream and she can die. That's very toxic and very deadly. There can be where it's um, a woman can't give birth and then she dies and the baby dies. So there's a lot of things where it doesn't even make sense. We, you know, Prenatal care, female reproductive care, a lot of these centers for women's health are for health. It is not just for abortion. Um, but really, when it comes down to it, the reason why the GOP is so hell bent on taking away a woman's choice is because they really are afraid of women having choice, and it goes way beyond reproduction. It's the choice of equal pay, and women having freedom to work in the same workplace and have the same opportunities, and to have sex. The freedom of a woman having the choice to have sex with different male partners, um, or whoever she chooses. That's consensual and all that. It's about control. What they're really doing, this is what it's really about, is taking away a woman's control, which goes to the rape mentality, because rape is about control. It's not about the way a woman looks or anything, sex. No, it's about control. So, they've really got to iron out their toxic male issues. It's really unbalanced in the GOP side for entertainment purpose only, but that's what this is really all about. So Tuesday we spoke volumes, and much more than any poll could ever say. Because again, those are landlines. Those polls are landlines, not actual, factual counting of the general population. So I don't trust it. I didn't trust it when I heard it, and I don't trust it now. I trust the voting, and the voting spoke volumes. So, okay, what's the next thing? Okay, so 45, I'll just go through. Yes, warrior girl. We're in this, and we spoke up. You have to. It was here in Kansas, so we did it last year. And then everyone else is slowly getting there. And then you saw that guy, right? And I'll add your comment here. So warrior girl, you said I'd like to add, they're afraid of our free will. Yes, the LGBTQ choices, along with the choice of having pets instead of kids. That's true. And I had that revelation a few weeks ago that let's say the Gen Z and beyond, they may not want to have kids, and that's okay, because we need to heal the earth. We need to take care of animals, and it's okay to have animals. It's okay to not, okay, I'm saying a lot, so forgive me. I'm not used to doing lives. We have to heal the earth, because it's going to heal us. That will help us to have fertility in the future and be able to have children in the future again, and all that, propagate and everything. But we have to heal the earth. And, the problem is, as women, we have the biological time clock that really, 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 really puts a lot of pressure on us. So right around late 20s or so, you start to think, I have to have kids. And there goes all your career choice and all, everything. It really is a thing. And if we can help women understand that they do have a choice, and you don't have to have kids. You can have fulfillment without having kids. I love my kids. I'm a very maternal, mothering person. So, and thank you, warrior girl. Yeah, it's important. And that goes back to honoring the woman again, and a woman's choice, and saying, you don't have to have kids. You can have a career. But what do? We lower the money. We make her feel guilty. Oh, you need this much time, or you need, let me see. Elon and the Pope have both just like the GOP are pushing, popping out consumers for their fat bank accounts. Well, you know how I feel about Elon Musk. I don't like the guy. Now the Pope, he has some good things. Most I didn't agree with, and but he's pretty good. It's never, the church I don't agree with, so that's a rough one for me. But as far as popes go, I think this Pope, Pope Francis, right? He's doing pretty good. Hi, Vivian. If anyone has any questions, let me know. I can't stay on too long because I have to go to my theater job. I work at 2 jobs now. I work at a movie theater and a dinner theater, and I work at the dinner theater tonight. It's just it's not the economy so much, is just everything has gone to hell with a lot of us, with money and food and all this stuff. Anyway, let's see. You like the new Beatles song? Okay, he has a genius mind for creativity, but I cannot stomach Elon either. I agree, warrior girl. The problem with Elon is he has nefarious reasons behind everything he does, and he doesn't tell us what those are. And the next thing you know, he's controlling everything, and he's shooting off Starlink satellites all over the place. And I feel it's effing up our atmosphere. And then we're like, why is the weather so crazy? Well, he's shooting off all, you've seen the cloud of funk that comes off these rockets. He's doing it all the time. Anyway, Vivienne says she liked the new Beatles song. Good. I listened to it like 20 times last weekend. And each time I listened to it, it just touched me, and it, just the beauty of it and how they did it and how they all came together. And hi, Fatima. How you doing? Blessings to you too. Yeah, the new song, that AI I like because they did it tastefully. They did it for the reason that it should be here, which is to enhance. And okay, I have a story. This is interesting about the song called Now and Then, which Jamie and I talked about how it was John said to Paul before he died, he said, "Think of me now and then." So there's a story that I saw where George Harrison, before he died, bought a piece of art that had the clock tower, maybe like the London Tower or something, and it said "Now and Then." This was before he died, and he put it in his house, and then he dies. So then they almost record the song, or when he was alive, they almost recorded the song, but they did "Free as a Bird," and then they had to put away "Now and Then" because they just didn't have the capability to isolate. Quantum intelligence. Okay, I can do that. Well, so it was. So they had to put it aside, and now we have this, intelligence to enhance it, which they did. Okay, so George Harrison's wife, I believe her name was Louise Harris. No, that was his sister. I can't remember, but his wife, his widow, um, she said that it like fell over or something in the house, and then she called Paul and said, "Do the song." So I thought that was interesting because John communicated through spirit to George. George bought the piece of art that said "Now and then he communicated to Olivia. That's her name, Olivia, and Ringo and Paul. And it's all this spirit communication. So the Beatles are all still communicating with each other, and I just think that's so beautiful. Um, QI. Okay, I'll call it QI. Um, but yeah, the song is really beautiful. And the other night, I'll tell you this experience. I was going to work, and I had the start of a migraine, which turned into like that night at work, I was dizzy and I was like, my brain wasn't working right. And the next day I had this horrible all day migraine. So that night it just wasn't doing well. It's been a rough week. So I'm driving to work, and right on the radio is Number Nine Dream, which John wrote. And I love that song. And this guy on a scooter comes out of nowhere and almost like goes right in front of me. And as he turns, he turns to me, and his face it's John's face. This has happened to me before. It's John's face, and it's like freeze frames. And then he goes off, and I'm like, "Oh my God, that was John. That's happened to me before." And I was like, "That's like a visitation." And then the radio said, "And now we'll play the Beatles' new song Now and Then," and Now and Then plays, and I'm almost like crying. And these two cars get in front of me, and they both say Odyssey on them, and I just, it was one of those magical moments from John. So you cried. Warrior Girl says, "I cried the first playthrough of that song." Yeah. I mean, it's really, really beautiful. There's something, obviously from beyond that, and the sound of John's voice is very haunting. And Vivian says, "I like Ringo's song, The Weight of the World." I'll have to listen to it. I know he had some new songs that came out. Starbeings from Vegas showed, sure, okay, cool. Uh, Yeah, John does that a lot. Now, sometimes I will go like through dry spells where I don't get a lot of messages from John. Mostly what he does is he'll send like 909 and 711 or 117 like number codes. And then other days I'll see orbs and I'll see his face and he'll be in light, and then all these other weird things will happen. It's just really probably if he really wants me to get the message hard, or if I'm on the same wavelength. And I've talked before about how spirit communication, because we're spirit too, they're higher, and if we can raise our energy and our, if you're depressed, you got to kind of raise it up, got to help yourself. You can meet, and then you could have that spirit communication because you are your level. Energy matches energy, so that's one way that it works. So Okay, The Weight of the World. I've probably heard it, Vivian. I've probably heard it, and I have to go through. I've got some of his records, and I've heard a lot. They used to have a Beatles hour, and they'd play all of all of the solo and the band, and yeah. So I've probably heard it. I just can't. My migraine brain is not working today. Still, I love George Harrison's song "Set on You." You want to know something? I thought he wrote that song, and then one day I hear the original, which is more like a soul version, and I was like, ah, I thought, I thought he wrote that, but I like the song too because he put a really cool spin to it, and yeah, I love George. I love George Harrison. In fact, when I drive home from work every night, there's this huge building with these big glass windows, and like a Nazarene complex or something. And there's this one window in the upper corner, and it has a big black and white print of Jesus, but it looks like George Harrison. And so for me, I'm like, "Hi, George," on the way home every night. "Hey, George." So yeah. So anyway, but okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Um, and then yeah, okay. So politics. I'll go back. So 45 is on the stand, and one of the first things kind of lowers the energy when I go back to 45. One of the first things he does is he says, "I've got this paper, and and it exonerates me from all guilt." And basically, he's saying, "Yeah, it's all this stuff is illegal, tax fraud, business fraud, but I'm exonerated because I didn't know, or I signed this little handy dandy paper before all of it." And the judge is like, "I saw that before this trial, and I've already made my decision that you're guilty, but, thanks for trying. You're not exonerated." And then that's when 45 just had a huge fit. And I believe that would started off the whole day of him just being grumpy and upset. And, and then afterwards, Alina Haba said, "Oh, he pounded the table." That's what judges do. I don't know if you've ever watched Judge Judy, but they have a gavel thing and they kind of hit the table. And I mean, I would hate to see her in Judge Judy's courtroom. I'll get off the whole 45 thing because I know he brings the energy down. But I'll say this: it's not a matter of him, did he win this case or not? It's a matter of how much money he's going to have to pay for tax fraud and possible prison. I would say he's just going to get hit in the pocket. But what's going to happen is this trial and all the trials that he's guilty of, he started this, he did the crimes. This is slowing down his campaigning, and essentially he won't be able to do all his rallies. He won't be able to run properly. He's not going to have the time, money, or energy, and it's his own fault. So the next thing, okay, so the next thing is I wanted to say that we talked about the voting and that. Does anyone have any questions? I'll answer spiritual questions. I'll answer, anything. Um, but let's see. You know what band I love? I'll tell you this. I love the Beatles and their solo work, all the solo Beatles. And I love The Who. I love the Rolling Stones. I love Bob Dylan. But there's this band called Keane, and they're a British they're a British band too. I love Brit rock, I guess. And they have an album called Hopes and Fears. And that album, to me, I've probably listened to it more than any other album, CD, record, tape, whatever, download. Um, my gosh, I love Keane. I just have like this. Oh, and I love Arcade Fire. I don't know if you've ever heard them. I love Janis Joplin. I love Otis Redding. I love so many. Just anyone who sings through their soul and speaks through their soul. I love that. Okay, Vivian. Quick question. Did anything happen to the black marker in my kitchen today? Did anything happen to the black marker in Vivian's kitchen today? It probably just rolled off. I'm picturing my kitchen and how something could just roll off. it's probably behind something. I think it either got pushed into like you might have thrown it away on accident or it rolled behind. So you might, or it's under like a box or like a bag or something, if that makes sense, or like in a drawer. So I think it's still there, but it's just, it rolled under. Just check around that area. But you could, you could have a spirit playing tricks on you. But I see it like there, but it's kind of like behind or under something. It felt of the furniture in a funny way today. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. Fatima has wants a message from spirit. So let me do that. Let me get these cards. I like to use the Healing with the Angels cards, which are hard to see. Healing with the Angels for Fatima. Fatima. That's a lot. All right. Well, these 4 came out, so I'll do all of them. We have Retreat. Well, you probably won't be able to see. Retreat. Music. Harmony, where that goes to, and we're talking about music, isn't that ironic? And answered prayer. So what I get from that, Fatima, is that, and it's ironic that we're talking about music, that music helps you manifest. It helps you connect more with your, like I said, the energy matches energy. So like your angelic group and team and your spirit team. And it helps them lighten and put like that energetic healing, good luck, protection around you. So they want you to listen to more music. And that could be even classical. I listen to classical music a lot. It helps calm me down. I love classical music. That's something I don't talk about, that I have like a real thing with Mozart and Beethoven. And then, yeah. So listen to whatever makes you happy and helps you feel like you can get into that space in your up here and not so much down here where you're stressed out and worried. And you can be grounded, but sometimes you can be too grounded. Like I can be too grounded sometimes. So Warrior Girl says she loves Arcade Fire. Oh my God, I would love to see Arcade Fire in person. Um, I love that album they did, the Reflector album, because, and I've talked about this, where you match it up to the movie Black Orpheus, and it's like so uncanny how it fits together. And oh God, I would go to a concert in a heartbeat. I love them so much. But anything else? You know what I'll do? I'll pull a card for all of us. And let's see, what do I have here? I'll do a spirit. Let's do spirit messages for all of us here. You're welcome, Fatima. You're welcome. All right, spirit animal message for the group watching. Ooh, we got 3. Mouse. You're overlooking some important details, so pay closer to attention to what's going on. So has anyone had a mouse around this week? This is the time of year when they all show up, and my cats always find one this time of year. Tortoise. You're too fragmented, so do whatever it takes to get grounded. Well, but sometimes we can be too grounded. Tortoise. I'm getting from that, slow down. Sometimes we're too hectic, we're too absorbed in everything, and we forget to just slow down and take in details. Like when I was in therapy and I would get all these things, I'm so upset, and this is bothering, or this happened in the past, and my therapist would say, slow down, close your eyes, and listen. Tell me 5 things that you hear. And I would say, like, okay, the clock, the cars outside, the air conditioning, and somebody out in the hall, and something else, some other thing. And that grounds you, but it also brings you back into your core being and spiritual alignment, because we get really, like, I'm up here a lot. And then when I'm upset, I'm here, I'm stuck right here. And then it goes into my stomach and I have upset stomach, and so if you can get to the point where you're actually balanced, you're spiritually aligned, then you can heal and you can manifest and all these good things and not be stressed out. Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake. The experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. That's true. And the rattlesnake would be your kundalini. um, and yeah, that's a transformative, very transformative energy. And think, what do rattlesnakes do? Well, what do snakes do? They shed their skin. And sometimes when we go through really icky periods of time where we feel really awkward and everything's out of alignment, it's because we're shedding something. We're shedding some old karma or some situation, and because we renew. We have cell renewal, and I believe we have spiritual cell renewal. Let's see, warrior girl. Sometimes I think of mice as overthinking. They never stop biting stuff. Yeah. And they're always ripping little things up everywhere. And or maybe don't bite off more than you can chew. That's true. I'll put that up here. Because that's overwhelming too. And we can do that thinking that I can take it. I can do anything. I can take care of my kids. I can clean the house. I can do this. I can go out. And sometimes you just go, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so tired. And we can't. Sometimes we need to just come back and breathe. Snake used to represent the divine goddess. Interesting. In ancient civilizations around the world, actually. Nice. It's that transformative, and women have to wear a lot of different hats to handle, who else has to create an entire life and take care of it and still, have a career and all these things. Weasel, be silent, pay attention, and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. And I just talked about that with in therapy of having to learn how to stop and listen so that I could come back and not be inundated with voices of the past and things that are too big for me to handle. You come back and you say, well, it's like being in a storm. So you're in a little hut, like Gilligan's Island when they get in those little huts, and the storm, the typhoon would be. And the only thing you could do when there's a storm raging around you is stay still and wait for it to pass. You can't catch a typhoon or a hurricane or whatever. You can't catch when there's chaos around you. We can't always catch it and control it. Sometimes you just have to stand there and wait for it to pass. Yes, rejuvenate our internal batteries. Men work sun up to sundown, women all day and night. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Yeah. It's funny because I had, who was it? Somebody the other day said that they were watching it's somebody I work with, and they have a grandchild, and they've been watching the grandchild while their daughter was off like in the Caribbean or something. And they were like, I'm so tired. I'm like, yeah, I forgot how when my kids are little, because they're now like teenagers. And I'm like, it's so hard taking care of kids. You would be surprised when I know you guys are probably, what it's like. When kids are little, you think, oh, it's so hard. They, tears, and maybe they can't talk yet. So you have to like intuitively, and the cleaning and the chasing, and or they want you to play in a certain way, and you have to use your creativity, and then you're just tired, like you're tired. It's hard being a parent, especially a mom. It's true. It's hard being a mom because you're so emotionally connected and spiritually connected too. Squadio Data MJ. Hi, I'll just happen to find myself here. Hi. I'm not going to be on long. I have to work tonight, so I just wanted to come on for a bit and see how everyone's doing and to talk about the class that I'm going to do. I need more than 2 people. I need 2 people and hopefully more. So what I'm hoping to do, because I don't work on Mondays, is that we could set it up for every Monday evening. And, it would be like $20 per class, or lower, and donation. If you don't have the money, I would take donations, because that's how it was when I took a class. It was like, you can pay, and if you can't pay, just donate. It's fine. Um, but that way we can get together kind of like this and do some spiritual talk and practice. I can help you intuitively, energetically. I can do some healings and pull cards. We can talk about past lives and things like that. So, um, does anyone else have any other questions that I can answer? For now, I'll say, let's see what's going on. We just have the eclipse, and that was rough. I mean, I think that eclipse did a lot to purge a lot out of us, but then it left us in this feeling of being empty and um, I don't know. Eclipses, full moons, they leave me feeling quite tired. Okay, the challenge is what you're speaking of me right now. Where I'm living today, I'm grateful my caregiving obligations are related to husband who is nicely recovering from surgery. Yeah. It's hard being a caregiver. Um, that's very emotionally draining, and because it's the burden of making them happy alone, like making someone happy, keeping them in a certain mindset, their health, their mind, their comfort, and it's all on you. So that's extremely hard. And I can only say that I went through it for a summer when my mom had cancer, and I didn't have to do what a lot of people do with their parents at the end of life. If she went through it so fast that, yeah, it's hard. A lot of worry, like a lot of sleepless nights too. Okay, Warrior Girl, some cards for the portal to M before you go. Okay. Kitty, hold on. There's Kitty back here. Let's do some cards for the portal. Okay. Cards, and this is for Warrior Girl. Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands it's a cat sitting on a tree branch. It's kind of like a sunset. I always feel like this card is saying, even though the Knight of Wands can mean travel, and so that could be that there could be some travel, but it's also messages. What I get from this card, though, is that he's just chilling. He got himself up in a high vantage, stuck in a tree, but he doesn't look upset. And he's just kind of chilling. And he's, again, watching the storm pass, waiting for things to change, taking it in, not making a decision yet. He's almost ready to make a decision. So I think what's going to happen is, as we're shifting from one sort of portal to the next, 11:11. Okay, you're right. That's tomorrow. Okay, yeah, that's tomorrow. So for you, I would say just write it out, manifest, like seriously manifest. Um, I had a 3/3 portal. It was March 3rd, 2021. So it was like 333. And I had something really important happen to me that day. And I've never forgotten that double, like portal numbers, are very important. So stay up in your thoughts and light some sage, do little things like that. Write out, do this, write out, this is what I want. And I ask, I humbly ask for this, and I'm manifesting this, and just say, this is what I want. This is what I want. That's a very good thing to do on these times and full moons, things like that. So, yeah. Hello, Lalima, Sony. Yep, I was meant to have these few moments here today. Oh, good. I'm glad that I could help. Um, I've gotten the message before that when you give yourself a service, spirit, your God and angels, your guides and angels, they really honor you. They really, really love and honor the work that you do. It's never unseen. And, a lot of things that we do in the world go unnoticed. and unrewarded. But there is a reward. And I'll just let you know that the love that they have for you when you are selfless um, is immense. So try to feel that and also know that um, it will come back to you. It always comes back to you. And it makes a huge difference in the energy of the world when people are kind, when people help each other, you help your family, when you give of yourself. It makes the world a much better place because that the world is run by love, and that which you do with love makes the light shine and it brings the balance up to love and things moving forward because that is the way of the universe is love. So Lalima, Sony, could you get some cards? Sure, I'll give you some cards. And like I said, I'm leaving in just a few minutes. So Lalima, Sony, can I please get some cards? Yes, you may. I will do a couple. Okay, those flew out. Those flew out. King of Pentacles and the Star. That's nice. So we have a cat reaching into the river with the moonlight and the King of Pentacles. So that's very, again, that to me means you're in a very good place of manifestation. And actually, have you ever heard of speaking into your water? It's where you get a glass of water and you stand there. I've done this so many times. And you stand there and you speak into it and you say, I need some extra money. I need my health to improve. I need this lessen my whatever. Try not to say what you have and you hate that you don't want. Say the things that you do want, and then you drink the water, and that manifestation, the energy of your words are in the water, and it goes into you. And then, hi creature. Um, Yeah, I'm not going to be here too long. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be here too long. Maybe I'll come back on tomorrow because I might have a little time tomorrow. Um, so, and I was saying that I want to do this class on Mondays. So if I get at least 2 people, I can do a class because I can't do it with just one person. It has to be at least 2 or more. Anybody else? And I'm saying a lot. Lolima, I want to give you another card. So I think that you are at a place where you're really in a good place to manifest. So I want you to remember that. You're welcome. So let me do one more card for you. This will be one of these angelic healing with the angels. Okay, emerging and surrender and release. Emerging and surrender and release. Oh, I hate when it won't show up. Emerging, you have these gifts emerging and this connection to spirit and your angels, spirit guides, the universe. We co-create with the universe and try to release all your doubts and just know that you have this power. And I think that the feminine, a lot of men, we all have feminine and masculine, but us women, we're so good at being able to talk to the other side because we're mothers. A lot of us we have the propensity to be mothers, and our prayers are very urgent, take priority. And so it is our love. We have to have a lot of that love, nurturing. So when you open your heart, that really is the portal of connecting with the other side and saying, this is what I want. This is what I need. I need this. So yeah, use those gifts that you have. It seems like tomorrow's probably going to be a really good day for everyone to manifest, speaking to your water. Try to put your feet on the ground if you can to get grounded. Speak it into existence. I heard this thing once that said that if you say something 9 times, it'll manifest, or it's like some mind control trick. But so let's say you say, I need $50. 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 And it's almost like the universe is like, okay. She said the magic combo, but it's really like our own brain, starts to do it. Yeah. So I could pull one more card for all of us before I go because I got to eat and go to work again. I'm starting to feel like do you remember the Dunkin' Donuts guy? Or was it the Daylight Donuts? And he's like, time to make the donuts. I'm always going to some theater to work at a theater. Let me see. We have these cards. I will grab these daily angelic cards. So let's see what we got going on. I just mess them all up. I'm not going to take reversals. So, okay, we have indigo. Interesting. The person you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural born leader. I have to admit, I was thinking of John because I was thinking about how I mentioned him earlier. It's like, oh yeah, I mentioned him about the whole thing where I saw his face and all that stuff. But you guys might have gals, might have someone that and you guys, gals, are probably, I say guys a lot, are indigos. I'm an indigo. In fact, I said this just yesterday. I told someone I'm an indigo. You know what that means, really? It means that you have always known that you're sort of different, connected to spirit. You have these weird experiences. You have intuition. And also you have this sort of crystalline energy inside you, and which means that you can conduct light, love, healing. You can bring that energy into you and radiate it, because the crystal, let me grab my crystal. That's what crystals do. They're conductors. They radiate like a prism. You know how the light goes out of a prism? That's inside of us. So if you can remember that you have that crystalline energy in you, then, and you can renew it. Just imagine light going down inside of you and charging up that crystalline energy inside of you. You know, we're taught that we have blood and we bleed and we hurt and we suffer and there's war and all this stuff. But really what they forget to say is that we also have all this beautiful energy, and we have this crystalline energy inside of us. And some of us are star seeds, like I am. And that's, we have connection to the universe. Vegetarian, vegan. Fresh, organic fruits and vegetables give you a boost of high life force energy, which elevates your spiritual frequency. That's the word I was thinking of, frequency. So eat your fruit and veggies. You don't have to be like, I believe in everyone's choice to eat what they need to eat for their body. I would be vegetarian, but I have to have meat every once in a while, or I get like this weird heart pain. So I'm going to close this pretty soon with love, sending you a lot of love for Friday. Thank you everyone for coming on and hanging out with me. And I still got to get Kitty out, and she wants to go. Cancel, clear, delete. Use only positive words and thoughts. We talked about that as they're rapidly manifesting into form. That's right. So speaking to your water, don't say the bad stuff, only say the good stuff. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. And I will tell you right now, one of my favorite YouTube manifestation videos is Lisa Beachy. Look her up. Beachy. Crown chakra. It's like a 5 or 7 minute manifestation or meditation, and she will lead you. There's music, and she'll talk you through it. And it's the crown chakra. Every time I do that, I feel all this dark negative energy come off me, and it cleanses me, and I just feel so much better. So look into that. Lisa Beachy, crown chakra manifestation. And okay, Kitty needs to go out. I need to eat dinner before I go. Love you guys, girls, ladies, and have a good night, and love yourself. Love the universe. Love is the only thing that's real. It's the only thing that's real. So remember that. You are love. And I might come back on tomorrow. So many blessings. Thanks for joining me. Bye.